Hello and welcome. We're here today to talk about Africa's physical geography. Join me as we go through and label a physical features map of the continent of Africa. If at any time during the video you find that you need more time to work on your map, please press pause and resume when you are ready. Let's go. Your teacher will be giving you a physical map shown here on the right. You will also need some colored pencils for this activity today. Together, we're going to go through some directions to fill in our physical map. We're going to start today by labeling the equator. Find the dotted line on the map that divides the continent of Africa in half. Write equator in the box. You can see it shown here by a red circle. The equator is the invisible line that divides the Earth into halves, into the northern and southern hemisphere. And as we know, anywhere near the equator is going to have a hotter temperature. So this is going to have an impact on the climate of this region. Next, we're going to label the island of Madagascar. This island can be found off the southeast coast of Africa. Please write Madagascar in the box on the bottom right of your map. In the video, it's shown with the blue flashing lines. Next, we're going to label the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is a man-made waterway that separates Africa from the continent of Asia. It can be found in the northeast part of Africa. You can see the box here indicated by the red arrows. Please write Suez Canal in the box. You'll notice as we go that my map is being completed, so if any time you fall behind, please feel free to look at my map to catch up. Next, we're going to start using our colored pencils. We're going to start with blue. Any shade of blue can be used here. We are going to label the oceans that border the continent of Africa. Because they're already written in our map, we're going to identify them with a blue squiggly line to represent a wave. Off the west coast of Africa, find where it says Atlantic Ocean. Draw a blue squiggly line underneath the Atlantic Ocean. Next, find the Indian Ocean off the east coast of Africa. Here you will draw another blue squiggly line. These lines will indicate waves. If you have trouble finding them, please notice the red arrows in the video. We're going to continue using our blue colored pencil. You have two options at this point. You can either shade in the area and label it with your pen or pencil, or you can use your colored pencil to label the area. We're going to label the Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean Sea can be found just north of Africa. This body of water separates Africa, Asia, and Europe, and is connected to the Atlantic Ocean. Next, we're going to label the Red Sea. Again, you can use your blue to shade in the area and then label it with your pen or pencil, or you can label it in blue. The Red Sea can be found between Africa and Asia. Often, the water looks a bluish green color, but sometimes, due to red algae, it can be a reddish brown, which is where the Red Sea gets its name. As we move through the remainder of the map, we're going to focus on Africa separated into regions. This region is North Africa. North Africa is known for a lot of different physical features. We're going to start by labeling the Nile River. Please make sure you have a dark blue colored pencil. we're going to shade or trace over the Nile River as shown by the red circle on my map. This is also labeled A to help you. Please again use your dark blue to trace over the Nile River. Once you're done, go to the bottom left-hand corner to the Rivers key, and next to the letter A, write Nile River. We'll label all of our rivers on this key. The next physical feature in North Africa that we are going to look at is the Atlas Mountains. Please pick up your brown colored pencil. Find the Atlas Mountains in the northwest portion of Africa, close to the Mediterranean Sea. Using your brown, shade in the mountains. The Atlas Mountains are actually more than just one group of mountains. It's several mountain ranges blending together. Please pick up your yellow colored pencil. Using our yellow colored pencil, we're going to shade in the area that represents the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert, in this case, we're going to shade in from the west coast to the east coast, below the Atlas Mountains, below the Mediterranean Sea. And we're going to shade as far down as that top wiggly line. The area shown on my map is what you should be shading in with yellow. The Sahara Desert is the largest desert on Earth. It goes through at least 10 different countries. The word Sahara is the Arabic word for desert. Next, we're going to use our red colored pencil. Beneath where we colored in the Sahara Desert is a region known as the Sahel. On my map, I have drawn in red X's and there are colored arrows indicating the region that we're going to focus on. Please use your red colored pencil and draw several small X's between the two wavy lines. This will represent the Sahel region. The Sahel is a transitional zone between the arid Sahara in the north and the more fertile savannas in the south. This area is called the Sahel because that means shore in Arabic. It is growing due to desertification. We will now focus on West Africa. Using a dark blue pencil, we're going to trace 3 rivers. Each river is labeled with a letter. Take your dark blue pencil and find the letter B and trace over the Senegal River. Once you're done, go to the bottom left corner to our Rivers key, and next to the letter B, write Senegal River. Letter C is the Niger River. Please trace the Niger River with dark blue, and on the Rivers key, label Niger River next to the letter C. And finally, River D. Please trace in dark blue, and then label it on the Rivers key, Volta River. We are now moving on to East Africa. Please pick up your gray colored pencil. Find the area that has 2 wavy lines to the east of the Nile River. On my map, it's circled in red and has an arrow pointing to it. We're going to shade in between these 2 wavy lines to represent the Great Rift Valley. The Great Rift Valley is the name given to a large continuous trench found in East Africa. This area is bordered by lots of mountains and active volcanoes. Next, pick up your light blue colored pencil. Find the end of the Nile River right next to the Great Rift Valley we just colored in. We're going to color this lake in with our light blue. This is Lake Victoria, Africa's largest lake. It's found right on the equator. Continuing with our light blue colored pencil, we're going to scoot down a little bit and color in Lake Tanganyika, just below Lake Victoria. This is the longest freshwater lake in the world and the second deepest lake in the world. Next, you're going to use your brown colored pencil. Find the mountain just to the east of where we colored in the Great Rift Valley with gray. Shade the mountain in with brown. This is Mount Kilimanjaro. It's found in East Africa. It's the highest point in all of Africa. Even though this area is close to the equator in the tropics, the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro is covered with ice and snow year-round. Using your orange colored pencil, find the area that is indicated with the red circle on my map. We're going to draw a few sideways lines just to the east of the Great Rift Valley. This is going to represent the Ethiopian highlands. This is an area of tall mountains. These mountains have had a great impact on the history of this region. Please pick up your light green colored pencil. We're going to shade in the area that represents the savanna of Africa. Basically from that squiggly line just below the Sahel down to the equator, all the way from the west coast of Africa to the Great Rift Valley, we're going to shade this area in with our light green. The African savanna is one of the best known savannas in the world and has lots of different animal life that lives there. This brings us to the region of Central Africa. Using our dark blue colored pencil, we're going to trace two rivers that could be found in this region. The rivers are labeled E and F. Once you've traced both rivers, E and F, we're going to label the rivers on our river's key on the bottom left-hand corner of our map. The river that we traced for E is the Congo River. Please write Congo River next to E. The river that we traced for F is the Zambezi River. Make sure that you label F, Zambezi River, on your river's key. Next, we're going to switch back to our light blue colored pencil. With our light blue colored pencil, we're going just below Lake Tanganyika to shade in another lake. This is Lake Nyasa. This lake is also sometimes called Lake Malawi. This lake was created as part of the East African Rift System, where it has filled in with water over time. It's the 9th largest freshwater lake on Earth. We will now be using our dark green colored pencil. Find the shape in the middle of your map. Mine is shown with circles. We are going to go over two of the rivers that we have just traced. We're going to shade this area in with dark green to represent the African rainforest. This rainforest is found in the Congo River Basin, more towards the Atlantic Ocean side of Africa. This rainforest is famous for its gorillas, chimpanzees, elephants, and other native animals. Our last region of Africa is known as Southern Africa. We're going to start in this region with our last two rivers. Using our dark blue colored pencil, we're going to trace over the river labeled G and the river labeled H. Once we've traced both of those rivers, we're going to go to the bottom left-hand corner of our map to our river's key. Next to the letter G, we're going to label Limpopo River. Next to the letter H, we're going to label Orange River. It's important to note at this time that these aren't every single river found in Africa, but some of the largest and more important or well-known rivers. Next, we're going back to our yellow colored pencil. There's a shape drawn in to the southern part of your map. On my map, it's shown with a red circle. Shade this shape in with your yellow colored pencil. This is going to represent the Kalahari Desert. Well, we did it. We finished up our physical geography map. Now you have a map that represents the major physical features of Africa. If you have a few minutes, go ahead and jump on Quizlet and review and see if you can identify these physical features that we've spent time talking about today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.